I call to order the Gladstone City Council special meeting for June 7th, 2017. It's 5:30 p.m. Tonight, the three items on our regular agenda are to acknowledge the certified results of the recall election, motion to declare the date of vacancy on 2 elected positions, and motion to begin the process of filling the vacancies per Chapter 7, Section 33 of the City Charter and Chapter 4.03 of the Gladstone Municipal Code. Jackie, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilor Sickman. Councilor Neese.
Present.
Councilor Johnson. Councilor McMahon.
Here.
Councilor Reisner.
Here.
Councilor Mercereau.
Here.
Mayor Stemple.
Here. Could everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so let's get on to the regular agenda. Item number 1 is to acknowledge the certified results of the recall election. Staff?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. So my position serves as the elections officer for the City of Gladstone, and we had a special election for recall of 2 city councilors, Kim Sickman and Steve Johnson. The next step in the process is to acknowledge the certification of the elections. The Clackamas County sent this morning the attached certified results of the May 23rd, 2017 recall election. You have that in front of you, and I believe, I'll talk to legal, but we just need council to formally acknowledge that they have received the certified results.
That is correct. A motion to that effect is fine.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we've received the election results.
I second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So acknowledged. Anything else on that one? Number 2 is motion to declare the date of vacancy on 2 elected positions. Staff?
Thank you. So if you refer to City of Gladstone Municipal Code, Chapter 4.03, Vacancies in Office, specifically Section .020, Filling a Vacancy says, upon becoming aware of a vacancy in an elective office, the council must promptly determine and declare the date of vacancy. So the next step in the process is for the City Council to declare the 2 positions, the one held by Councilor Kim Sickman and Steve Johnson, vacant. And then the next process will be for the mayor to talk about filling those vacancies.
Do we need to address each position separately?
No, Mayor. You can include both in a motion to declare them both vacant.
Okay, and we want to set that vacancy date as of today?
Yeah, I think the, officially you became aware of the certified results a minute ago. So I think today would be the appropriate date.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion?
Yeah, well, I move that we declare today, June 7th, 2017, as the date of vacancy on Councilor Kim Sickman and Councilor Steve Johnson's positions.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. So the third is motion to begin the process of filling the vacancies per Chapter 7, Section 33 of the City Charter and Chapter 4.03 of the Gladstone Municipal Code. Jackie?
So if you reference now the City Charter, Chapter 7, Section 33, it says, vacant elective offices in the city shall be filled by appointment. A majority vote of the council shall be required to validate the appointment. The appointee's term shall begin immediately upon his appointment and shall continue until the beginning of the year following the next general biennial election and until his successor is qualified, and his successor for the unexpired term shall be chosen at the next general biennial election after said appointment. So what the council needs to do now, they have some flexibility on how you want to solicit applications for these two positions, but you must vote on them in an open meeting, and it would be the majority of the 5 that would select the 2 positions. So now we'll let the mayor talk a little bit about the process that she would propose this evening for filling those vacancies.
So we would like to have applications posted on the city website and in local periodicals like the Clackamas Review, maybe our city newsletter, and have all that out tomorrow. We would like to leave it open for 30 days, which is what we've done in the past. So that would make them do, giving a couple days here and there, July 17th. If we choose to do an interview process, that would give us the 18th through the 21st of July to have interviews, and then make the final appointments on July 25th, which is it's our regular meeting. Any discussion?
Well, I would like to do it as soon as possible, quite frankly. I think it's very important to give people in Gladstone their true notice of what is available, so that we get, I guess, a slang term, of the cream of the crop, rather than just a few. So I'd just like everybody to take that in consideration, that we don't push it so hard we don't get the right people to.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to leave it open for at least 30 days, so that people were given enough notice.
And if we don't get the right people, we don't have to vote for them.
That's true.
It still takes a quorum of 3, so if we do not get the right people, 3 of us can say no.
Any further discussion?
No, I think the 30 days should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Question I do have, and I don't know if it's appropriate here as to process or later. So we would appoint 2 members as per your proposal next month, and then they would be with us until the end of next year, because the next general election would be November 2018.
Right,
Yeah.
So Kim Sickman's position number 1 is in effect until December 31st, 2018, and Steve Johnson's position number 3 had the same expiration. So yes, they would be with you for another year and a half. If they chose to run during that next election, they could do so.
Well, I made the comment, I'm not sure people took it as I meant it. In the past, there has been a concern by Gladstone citizens that they, whether they did or not, they said or indicated that they didn't see the application requirement. And I just want to make sure, for example, when does the newsletter go out?
It will go out next week.
Okay, that's a favorable.
That's why we pushed it to 7/17 instead of 7/8, so that there was that lag time between when the newsletter was actually going to reach people.
And I like the interview process.
Think that'd be a good thing?
Do we need to make a motion then?
I think so, yes. And I would, if everybody's comfortable with sort of how Mayor Stempel outlined the timeline and the process, I think you could have a motion that simply says, move to begin the process of filling the vacancies in accordance with Mayor Stempel's suggestion. That would be fine.
Okay.
Clarify, did you said the 19th of July for the interviews, or?
18th through the 21st,
Okay, so,
which is a Tuesday through Friday.
so we would pick a night or a couple nights, or what was your?
Yeah, depending on how many applications we get, and that'll kind of determine
Okay, so
interview
that
schedule.
still remains, we're just tentatively looking at.
Mm-hmm. We just
Any-
want to make sure that we have the appointments for the meeting on the 25th.
Right, okay. Then, interview questions, start
We
drafting
can work
those.
on that, yeah. Okay. Who wants to make a motion?
I'll make the motion. David, do you want to kind of repeat that again? or-
Sure.
Make the
Sure.
motion for me.
I would suggest, and you can even say so moved.
Okay, all right.
That's fine. A motion to begin the process of filling the vacancies on the council in accordance with Mayor Stempel's suggested timeline and process.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. All right.
All right.
I think that's it for the regular agenda,
So,
unless someone has anything else.
There's one thing that I wanted to add. I did send out, well, I guess it wasn't to the full council, wasn't to the council at all, I don't think, but it was to Eric, and I believe he forwarded it on to you and the department heads regarding your next meeting and the budget, and some procedural issues we're going to have to address with that relative to the fact that there are three counselors, well, the mayor and Councilor Reisner and Councilor Neese have family members that are members of the fire department. And given the fact that the fire department is having a proposed, some positions are going to be created, some increases in terms of pay, that presents a conflict of interest issue for the three counselors. As I said in my email, obviously with now a council of 5, if you had 3 that were not able to participate, and just very briefly for the public's benefit and maybe to remind the council, when you have an actual conflict of interest under Oregon law, you can't participate in, let's say, the vote in this case. But the law also recognizes what they call a rule of necessity. And in simple terms, what that really means is that if you run into a situation like this, where you'd have only 2 people on the governing body that would be eligible to vote, the law says that we can add a person back, so to speak, one of you, in order to have a quorum to make that decision. So I am going to outline, I'll try to do it by Friday, with more particularity, and we can get it out to the public as well, how I sort of suggest proceeding come Tuesday. You will be able to vote on the budget. I don't want anybody to think that that's not going to happen. But very generally, what we're going to propose you do is first take out the fire department piece, and then, believe it or not, have the 3 of you, we only need 1 of you, the 3 of you draw straws or draw lots or, play rock, paper, scissors, take your pick.
Marbles.
Yeah, but in order to, in a neutral way, determine which of the 3 would return to the dais to make the vote on just the fire department
That piece, okay.
And then, once that's done, everybody can come back, and the mayor would assume her role is leading the discussion on the remainder of the budget. So I just wanted to briefly talk about that, and obviously if you have any questions for me now, I'm happy to try to address them.
I just think it's funny, we have a volunteer fire department where you have to live in the city, so.
They're paid. I mean,
Well,
we're mixing it. No, they are paid, and that's the issue, is they are paid employees of the city, and that's why we need to make sure and do this correctly. And especially coming up with the hiring of 2 full-time captains, which your husband is in the interim position right now, and you both have children, that's where this is very important that we do it correctly, so.
Oh, I agree.
And they're not
That we
volunteers.
do it right.
It is, and I think the one way to, people hear conflict of interest and, whoa, there's something untoward happening, and no, the reality reflects that I think a way to look at it is you've got, 3 people, and either their siblings or their spouse, who are also, you know, involved in the city of Gladstone, and that's frankly a good thing. So you get these hiccups once in a while, and thankfully the law provides a means to address that. So.
All right.
I was gonna say, Eastern Oregon comes across, you know, entities come across this more often than we do on this side of the mountains.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had nothing else for our regular agenda?
Are we going to have any business from the council, or are we going to save that for next week?
I was just going to save it till next week, since this is a special meeting.
Well, I'd like to say something business from the council then.
All right.
On the election. So I did my quick math, and 11.21% of the eligible voters voted yes for the recall. So I'm a little disappointed in that, and I'm a little disappointed in the efforts by some of the council also to be involved with this. And I'm more disappointed with that than I am with the vote. The vote is the voters get to vote and have their say. I think as a council we should not have been as actively involved both sides as we were. So, but I did my math, 11.21 for one of the eligible voters and 11.2 for the other. So not very many people voted to recall those two of the eligible voters. Yes, it is. I did the math 3 times.
Anything else? Okay, we need to make a motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn the regular meeting.
I second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.